Presently, strange-looking speakers are being placed in several areas of the town. The name of this speaker is the flat panel speaker. This week, the man who is trying to open the door to his dream is the man who created these speakers. His name is Masashi Hori, 58 years old. Flat panel speakers are indeed flat. The thickness is only 1/10 of traditionally used cone-type speakers. They are truly thin. But even more is the capability this speaker withholds.
We can hear clearly, even from this distance.
And also, the development of another surprising speaker.
新しいタイプのスピーカーを使って
ホワイトボードに取り付けると全体がスピーカーになっている。
Surprisingly, this speaker can change its surroundings into a speaker itself. Mr. Hori is starting a revolution to the various sounds that make up our society. This week, we will bring you a full coverage of Mr. Hori and his new challenge. With the help of his speakers, Mr. Hori is now trying to reduce the risk of traffic accidents.
Too much sound from the body. We have to cut down on the transmitted noise somewhere.
Will Mr. Hori be able to open the door to his dream? Here is a venture business company with 18 workers in Kotoku, Tokyo. The president of this company is the main character of this week, Mr. Masashi Hori. He is the man who will surprise us with the creation of a new type of speaker.
I believe this flat panel speaker will drastically change the world of sounds.
This is the flat panel speaker. At first, it only looks like a piece of board. The thickness only 7 millimeters. The weight only 1/5 of a cone-type loudspeaker. But most of all, compared to usual speakers, it has an incredible ability. Let's see what this is all about. Music is played from 100 meters away. The sound heard from regular speakers is this. But when switched to flat panel speakers,
同じですね。今スイッチングしてるだけですね。切り替えスイッチングでやってますから。
同じ音量、同じ距離で流した曲が平面スピーカーで聞くと聞こえ方が全く違います。平面スピーカーは遠く離れた場所に音をクリアに届けることができるのです。
A speaker generates sound by vibrating membrane with magnetic power. With the vibrating membrane as its center, sound travels in radial direction, thus disperses. Flat panel speakers were able to overcome this weak point. Inside are many magnets.
This is a special kind of magnet. The magnetic force is so strong, it can even go through my hands.
By using this magnet, sound can travel in a straight direction and to a far distance. Flat panel speakers prevent sounds from spreading all around. They make sounds travel in a straight direction. Let's see what happens when we put it on a TV. The two TV sets will each have on a different television show. Even in this circumstance, each sound can be heard clearly and separately.
そしてゆっくり口から吐きます。お腹をへこませながらどんどん出し切ります。
店なんざもう一軒も空いております。ですからそれに応えましたおせちを食べるとか、あるいはお餅。
The sound seems to come directly to you, and I was able to hear and understand what was said without being disturbed.
Since the sound travels in a straight direction, they were able to listen without being interfered by sounds from the other TV that were only 2 meters away.
From around here, the sound is different.
Flat panel speakers are already being used in places like this.
危ないですから黄色い線まで。
Since the sound does not scatter around, needed information is delivered directly and only to passengers. With the decrease of noisy sounds from announcements, people living around train stations were relieved.
There is so much sound in the city. There are needed sounds and unnecessary sounds. People who need to hear sounds clearly and those who don't. Thanks for cutting down on the noise level is something I want to be said.
10 years ago, Mr. Hori developed this world's first type of speaker. He has taken out a patent for this technology in 17 countries, and this technology is being used all over the world. And now, Mr. Hori is trying to surprise the world once again with the creation of another new type of speaker.
新しいタイプのスピーカーを使って
取り付けると全体がスピーカーになってすごいですね。
By attaching the speaker to an object, almost anything can turn into a speaker. Let's unveil the identity of this magical tool. Following its flat panel speakers, Mr. Hori developed yet another magical instrument that changed the standard knowledge of speakers. And this is it. We call it the hybrid speaker. Music is heard only slightly with the CD player.
ただこれはこちらに今ベニヤがあります。実はこれをベニヤに取り付けると
音が変わりましたね。
取り付けたこのベニヤから今音が出てるわけです。
なんとスピーカーをつけるとベニヤ板から音楽が流れ始めるというのですが、
聞いてください。そう、あ、全体から出てますね。
端からも出てますね。
はい。この芯ので外せば
聞こえないですね。
Strangely, we were really able to hear music from the whole plywood board. But this isn't the only surprise.
By placing this on, many things can transform into a speaker itself. This is our new type of speaker.
Plastic, metallic items, even cardboard boxes and desks can change into a speaker. This new type of speaker was made by applying an additional characteristic to the mechanism of flat panel speakers. Instead of generating sound by vibrating membrane through air, sound goes through. Even with large objects, sound is delivered from all over. By using this technology, objects in town, such as these, can turn into speakers. A glass window to display items. By putting on the hybrid speaker,
すっごいよく届きますね。届いてますね。表にスピーカーついてませんから。
a glass window 4 meters square, changed itself into a giant speaker. December, this hybrid speaker entered into an unexpected field. The field being an auto part maker. A suggestion was made to change a specific part into a speaker. Nowadays, cars are trying to cut down on the usage of gas and also lightening its weight. Yet, the weight of speakers has been quite a bother. 4 speakers weigh about 12 kilograms, about 27 pounds. Just then, Mr. Hori was singled out to be the man to do the job. He was going to change the speakers. The request was to transform the ceiling of the cars into speakers. This, of course, was capable with the help of hybrid speakers.
やっぱよ
そのまま
く出
出てまね
てますすよね、フラットの特性は。あ、いいいい。
Sound came from the ceiling very clearly. If cars were to use hybrid speakers, the weight of the speakers will become about 1/5 of what they weigh now. And this was truly a magnificent change.
In the era of making auto parts more compact, President Hori's speaker will undeniably take a big part in the transformation of new cars.
But this isn't all. Mr. Hori was trying to make an even bigger change to the car industry. In the industry of hybrid and electrically powered cars, many have much hope and high expectations for Mr. Hori's speakers.